And good afternoon and welcome to the coverage this afternoon for this major semi-final. Winner goes on to the grand final in a fortnight's time. We're at Seaford Oval where the sun is shining and the team's just about ready to come onto the field. Joining me, John Kreuter, local expert on many other things, of course. John, how are you?
I'm good, Cobb. I'm very good. I'm looking forward to this game. Should be a really good match. These two teams played each other last weekend in the final game of the regular season. It was a great match, and I'm expecting the Bushrangers to be coming out firing, just coming into this final series with a couple of losses, but they want to prove that they're a lot better than that, and they'll be looking to get into the grand final for the second year running.
Well, there's been nothing between really the top four teams. I think they all finished the comp around 11 wins each, and these two sides only a few points between them last week. So, but that can turn. Who won last week?
So the Blues won last week. I think it was about 6 points in it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that was really something that I noticed, I felt like Tuggeranong had a lot of the possession. They just struggled in attack, and they've made a couple of changes to their team this week. So Michael Brophy, he moves to fullback, which means Narima Lowe is going to be in the centre. This gives him a little bit of extra strike. And Jack Heyman from the reserve grade side, he comes into half-back alongside Wes Alexander. And Wes Alexander, he only played half the game last week. He just copped a bit of a knock. So I think having Wes back, also having Brophy at fullback, I think that'll just give him a few extra strings to their bow.
Well, Jack Heyman, he comes up from reserve grade, so what's his story this season?
Well, he played a bit of first grade for them last year. He played a little bit on the wing, a little bit in the halves as well. He played predominantly at fullback in reserve grade, but there's a fair bit on his shoulders. Like, he hasn't played a lot of first grade this season, but he's definitely capable.
He's thrown into the halfback position.
Yeah,
so it's a gamble.
Gamble? I don't know. I think
he's
it's
a versatile bloke anyway.
Versatile bloke, and I think it's going to free up Michael Brophy, and it frees up Narima Lowe, and I think that's the big thing. Michael Brophy is going to give you a bit of more ball playing at fullback than Narima, and Narima's just going to be running hard and giving you plenty of strikes. So I think that they're looking pretty good, and obviously for the Blues, they've been in a great run of form. They've had their last 4 games. They've been playing the top sides coming into this final series, so they're battle hardened. They're ready to go. I think one of the big things for them this year has been just that front, the two starting props, Josh Hitchens and Aiden Woods. They've been outstanding. They both have come over from the Queanbeyan Kangaroos. Woods did it 2 years ago. This is Hitchens' first year at the Blues. They've been outstanding for them. I think that's going to be a real key for them to getting a good start.
Yeah. Well, it certainly will be any semi-final rugby league. It's a battle in the forwards. You've got to be able to win that ruck area to give blokes in the 5'8" position a bit of room to organise their backs. And the Queanbeyan Blues have got Terry Campese. I've only seen him play a couple of times this season, but he still looks to me like he's got the golden touch.
Yeah, well, he definitely does. And I think the big thing this year is that he's got some creative options outside of him. So if Campese doesn't get early ball, you've got Jordan Williams, who's a really great, instinctive young halfback. Zach Patch, I thought he was outstanding last week, the hooker. His matchup with Josh Mitchell from Tuggeranong, that's going to be a key matchup. Josh Mitchell, probably, I'd argue, possibly the best player in the league. I think he's a fantastic player. Probably a little bit quiet by his lofty standards last week. He'll be wanting to get a good one up on his opposite number. As the Queanbeyan Blues run out, led by Jake Wheeler, the captain.
Now, John, who do you tip to win?
I really, really don't know. I've got a feeling that maybe the Bushrangers might get up, but I think that it will only be by 2 points for either side.
Yes, it'll be a tough one. Fast track. Now, the breeze has picked up in the last half hour. It's probably mainly going across field, but it may slightly assist Tuggeranong Bushrangers in this first half.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll be just important to make use of the conditions while they're in your favour. Obviously, this breeze has been going pretty strongly all day. It's probably just picked up a little bit over the last half hour. And, yeah, both teams are going to get their chance, but it's important to start well.
Well, Josh Mitchell leading out now the Tuggeranong Bushrangers. And a good crowd here too, John.
Yeah, definitely. There's a good little pocket in the The south-western corner of Tuggeranong fans, and obviously a Queanbeyan Blues home game. Another player I'd just like to highlight would be Nathan Smith coming into the second row for Tuggeranong. He spent a couple of years playing lower grades for Wyong Roos, feeder club for the Sydney Roosters when he was with them. Played for the Roosters in the Auckland Nines as well. He's played a little bit of centre, had a little bit of injury problems this year, but he's back fit and he's back in the second row. So that's second row of him and Jared Kennelly. And then Jacob McGrath at lock. He scored 2 tries last week. That's a really good second row.
How long are you with me for, John?
Mate, I'm going to go down and get a few photos now, so I'll leave you with a call.
Thank you very much for that preview. The whistle has now blown and we are underway to see who, in about an hour and a half's time, will be going into the first one into the grand final in a fortnight. The Blues will have the ball first touch through Stuckey, and they take it about 20 metres out from their own line. Second tackle, obviously, the Bushrangers charging in there. 4 in that tackle on Woods. And now the Blues just move it across to the left. I'll be just picking up a few of these names. They're new to me as this game gets underway. So playing the ball to Holo. They go for a switch ball back inside. Jordan Williams was trying to pull off a Swifty with a forward back on the inside, and the Blues continue upfield. They come towards halfway on their last tackle, so they'll be kicking into this breeze. It is very strong breeze. Campese boots almost directly into it, and it goes down to Connor Mason. And Mason will bring it up about 18 metres short of halfway. He's in the centre of the ground and he's in a tussle to hold that ball. It was a challenge for the strip. So the Bushrangers now, their first attack with this ball and playing it there was low. And again, they just charge up the centre on halfway. It will be a struggle early to try and get the dominance in the centre. That was a good run. Thomas, the front rower, is going to be a solid player for the Bushrangers this afternoon. Now they come back across. It goes to Brent Neal. He's in the centre of the ground, and they've worked play about 30 metres out, so it hasn't been a bad set. This is their last tackle. They'll go towards the left for a chip over the top from Jack Heyman, and he's going to, unfortunately, find the touchline behind in the in-goal area. So this will be, it'll come back to the 10-metre mark. Oh, no, it may have been in the field of play. So there's going to be a scrum pack 10 metres out from the Queanbeyan line. Queanbeyan Blues will get the ball. We had Goulburn win the first of the finals this weekend. Yesterday, they scored a big win, so they will play the loser. The Goulburn Workers will play the loser of this match next weekend, the winner of this match to the grand final. So it's a big afternoon. We're in the semi-final end of rugby league. Blues with the ball. They're 12 metres out from their own line. Goes to Terry Campese. He works it to his right-hand side to Stuckey. And they pick up a penalty, the Blues. Tuggeranong trying to slow down the play of the ball. So that's going to be a big help to the Blues to get out of their own end. But it's all important to try and slow it down. But if you go overboard, the referee will pinch you. And again, Campese found the touch and they go to halfway on their first tackle. The Blues with the ball, running from the southern end of Seaford Oval into the wind, although it is not going directly down the field, it's going across field. Now Campese gave a good ball to Aidan Woods. He charged onto it. He's 42 metres away from the Tuggeranong line. Played back and it comes away this time for their halfback Jordan Williams. Linked up with a man on his outside. And the Blues with the ball. Williams again working with his forwards. He brings Jack Colavati back inside. They're the middle of the ground and the Tuggeranong defence has been solid. Campese looking for a ball there. I think he picked up Parsons. Parsons will play it about 28 metres out. Campese on the last puts up a bomb into the windy conditions. This will be tricky. Tuggeranong, they managed to clean it up though. They do that in good style. It was their winger, Connor Mason, who came in and got underneath the high ball. So far, no mistakes. Tuggeranong have given away that penalty. Michael Brophy to play the ball for the Bushrangers. And Queanbeyan are rushing up in defence. Good tackle there from Taholo. And again, they just try and push it away up the centre, the Tuggeranong side. I'll come away this time for Brent Neal. Neal, he's hitting a heavy tackle. He's about 10 short of halfway. It is the last, so it's been a good defensive set from the Blues. They'll kick, and it's Matthew Parsons who picks up the ball for the Blues, their fullback. And he brings it back to the 30. So off the back of that good defensive set from the Blues, they get to start this set 30 metres out from their own line, which is not a bad result. Jake Wheeler comes across field, the Blues centre. He's taken play 12 short of halfway. Francis Fanifo goes up the centre. He's in jumper number 20. And he gets in an entanglement there with Brent Neal. The referee says it was Brent Neal's fault. It was a real wrestle match. So the penalty with the Queanbeyan Blues. Campese will kick almost directly into this strong wind. You can see that wind turn the ball. Once it got up in the air, it was heading downfield. It virtually was changing direction. So that's the wind conditions here, blowing across the ground, but mainly behind the Tuggeranong Bushrangers in this first half, and it is strong. Campese calls it down a blindside on. He gets a beautiful ball to Parsons, and Parsons almost sped through the gap. So it's the Blues now. They've got the first opportunity with good field position. Zach Patch, the dummy half, he had a run himself. He's 11 metres out. Plays it back for Parsons, ball to Campese, holds it up nicely and gave it to Jack Colavati, who's just 5 metres from the goalpost. They'll go right again here, the Blues. Campese got it to Williams. Oh, and a beautiful dummy from Josh Tuckey, and he split them open, and Josh Tuckey gets the first try of the match. They were always going to the right side, the Blues. They had the line out. Campese, the main man, was there. And it was a beautiful ball that went to Stuckey, and Josh Stuckey threw a dummy, and the winger, poor old winger for the Bushrangers out there, Jaden Pollard, well, he was outnumbered 2-on-1, so he had to go one way or the other, and Stuckey threw the dummy, went through and takes the first points of the match. So the Blues on their home ground strike 4-0. I'll have a look at this timepiece, 32 minutes. So it was 7.5 minutes into the match for that first try. Just the sun shining on the scoreboard, and the clock makes it very difficult to read. So it's been an even start. The Blues got the first crack in the danger zone, and they've done the job. And they've done it nicely. Conversion's going to be a tricky one from the sideline. Almost directly into this strong wind. So, with the ball placed, Terry Campese will move in and strike it. He keeps it low, probably against the wind, and he gets it. Well, it did not get any height, and I thought it might have been coming away to the left. But 4 points become 6 to the Queanbeyan Blues. That is an outstanding kick from the sideline directly into this strong wind. And there's no doubt that Terry Campese deliberately kept that conversion very low. He knew if he lofted it up into the air, the wind would get hold of it and it would go anywhere. So can the Bushrangers respond? They kick off, send it down to Parsons, who gives it straight away to Aidan Woods. And Woods brings it out to the 20-metre mark. In the centre of the ground, Parsons into dummy half, gives it away to Jack Colavati, who's very keen to get involved early. He's hunting for work. Now the ball played back, and Zach Patch, he sends it away to one of his forwards on the right-hand side. He gets caught in a tussle. It was Taholo, back for Campese. Fires a ball away. Campese picks it up. Now looking for space, Matthew Cole. Almost made it to halfway. He looked dangerous, almost got out of that tackle. Ball comes back in for George Stewart. And he takes play down to the 40-metre mark out from the Tuggeranong Bushrangers line. This wind is getting stronger and stronger. I'm just hoping my team sheets and gear don't blow away. High ball, Campese. Oh, and it swirled everywhere. But Michael Brophy, who had to move at the last minute, got under it and did a great job. Connor Mason runs away and picks up about 10 metres, but you could see that ball. Once it got up high, it swirled everywhere, and Michael Brophy was in all sorts of trouble trying to get underneath it as it moved around. Here's a penalty, Tuggeranong Bushrangers, and that will be a great advantage to them now. So the referee was saying Michael Cullen too long in the tackle, slowing them down. And there's the kick for touch. They've used the wind. So it'll take play 10 metres onto the Queanbeyan side of this ground, Seaford Oval. And there's a ball away to Jaden Thomas, the big front rower. He always copped 3 in the tackle, and that third man in, Tahalo, really made sure of it. Slow play the ball. Campese was laying underneath him. Comes away for Brent Neal. Neal takes play 25 metres out from the Queanbeyan line. Goes back now for Mitchell. And Josh Mitchell, he fires one out. He gets it away to the fullback, who's stepping all over the place. That's the halfback. He's lost it, Jack Heyman. Oh, gee, was dangerous off that left foot. But in the end, he lost the ball, and Matthew Parsons was there to clean it up. That was looking dangerous. Jack Heyman has got a beautiful left foot step. Now, Terry Campese will bring his winger in, George Stewart, and say, just give the forwards a spell. We want you blokes from the wings in to do a bit of work while the big men can get a breather. Now they send it down the side. It's to Harlow, back for Campese. He gives it on to Aidan Woods. Aidan Woods takes play 10 short of halfway. Centre of the ground, the Blues with the ball. They come across to the left now through Wheeler, and he tries to step back inside looking for support. He's found halfway. This is the last tackle. Tuggeranong's defence has been good. Campese will kick for touch this time, but doesn't quite find it. Michael Brophy's there, and he does a great job again. Scoops it up, beats the first and the second tackle, and he got it back towards the 30-metre line. So that's a good effort from Brophy. This is the Bushrangers trying to work it out of their own end. It's been keen and fast early in this match, and Jaden Pollard got into a wrestle match there. The referee has blown his whistle, and I'm not sure what for. He's told Pollard to get up and play it eventually. So Mason now has a run. They come for Mitchell. Mitchell links up on his outside there. I think it might be Brent Neal. So they've taken play down to the 40. He's lost the ball in that tackle. And now there's a penalty. It was in fact Jared Kennedy, but referee must have got a call from the linesman to say that ball with a two-man tackle, there was a hand in there, pulled that ball out. Big chance for the Tuggeranong Bushrangers. So the kick for touch will see them have this tap 12 metres out from the Blues line. So they'll tap it and just move it across the back line to Brent Neal, the front rower, to take the first hit up. 9 metres out from the line, in front of the post. It goes back to Matt Dragosic. Dragosic trying to step, but there was plenty of defence there. It was a bit of a wrestle. Mitchell now goes to the left side of the field. He found Brophy, who got a beautiful ball back on the inside, and the defence did well to scramble. Campese came up with a good tackle on Smith, and now the Bushrangers try and use muscle to get over the line. They got over the line and then they were pushed back. So Mitchell plays it. Dummy half dives over. I think that's Nathan Smith when he gets up. It is. Nathan Smith has scored a try. And it is a try apiece now with a conversion to come to try and even the scoreboard. Nathan Smith has come up with a try diving over from dummy half after good pressure from Tuggeranong. We have had 15 minutes of play and Tuggeranong have responded beautifully after the first try was scored by the Blues. That first try went to Josh Stuckey for the Queanbeyan Blues, and that was beautifully converted by Terry Campese, and now Tuggeranong through Nathan Smith, forcing. He got down low from dummy half, and he forced his way over. So Josh Mitchell, terrific player for the Tuggeranong Bushrangers, will try and convert this to level things up. He's only about 11 metres to the left of the post. He's going to have to allow for this strong wind. He strikes it, and he's kicked it. So, it's 1 from 1 for Josh Mitchell, and it becomes 6 points all between the Queanbeyan Blues, Tuggeranong Bushrangers, in this major semi-final. Both teams hungry to be the first into the 2019 Grand Final. Now there's a high kickoff. Comes down midfield 20 metres out for Tuggeranong to take the ball. They need a good set now after scoring points to work it off. Here's a good run, Connor Mason. He beat one tackle, got up and ran again and took play 15 short of halfway. That's good metres. Josh Mitchell has ruled. Well, the referee's whistle is blown. Didn't see it, but maybe he's ruled Josh Mitchell. It's either a bad play the ball or a little knock on. So where they needed a good set after scoring points, they've blown that. And the Blues will get the scrum feed 35 metres out from the Tuggeranong Bushrangers line. Jordan Williams will feed the scrum for the Blues. They swing it to the right, and Campese links up with Matthew Cole. Cole's brought down 33 metres out. Campese, dummy half, gives it away to George Stewart. Stewart, the winger, makes good metres. 22 metres out from the Tuggeranong line. I'll bring it back this side to Josh Stuckey. Scored the early try. And he's only 12 metres out. Tuggeranong are going to be under pressure here. Ball comes away for Tahalo. Gave a ball back inside that's gone to ground. I think it was Big Aidan Woods. Just couldn't cope with that one. He's put it down, and Tuggeranong have survived. They'll get the scrum feed. Queanbeyan was setting themselves up for an attacking play there. They were going nicely up the middle, making metres. But things went wrong for them. Now the scrum will be fed by Wesley Alexander. Comes out to Josh Mitchell. He links up with a man on his outside in Jury Low. They'll go down that blind side. Tuggeranong Bushrangers. And a solid run, Nathan Smith. Josh Mill, they've made a mistake there. That'll be a knockback, referee rules. So Tuggeranong lucky to survive that one. Scrambling run there from Jaden Thomas. Josh Mitchell, he fires one to Michael Brophy, and he's driven backwards. He's at the halfway mark. Josh Mitchell fires the long ball away, and Brophy will kick down into the corner, and the bounce sits up for Matthew Parsons from the Queanbeyan Blues, and Parsons is tackled on the 20-metre mark. So 6-all the score, and I've got to say, there's nothing between these two teams after 20 minutes of play. Nobody has been dominant up the middle. So now the Blues to play it through Michael Cullen. Ball came back for Parsons, got it on to Woods, and Woods, in fact, it was Jack Colavati. They're about 10 short of halfway. Tuggeranong's defence is moving up nicely. They're doing a good job this set. So played back for Patch to give the Campese, and he kicks down. It'll find the sideline, or will it? Flick back into the field of play, but it went forward. George Stewart did well to somehow throw it back into the field of play, but it went forward to Jordan Williams. And the referee says that'll be the end of your attack, Queanbeyan Blues, and it will be a turnover. Tuggeranong to start this set 30 metres out from their own line. I'll bring it back towards the centre of the ground through Brophy. Now Mitchell going down that side to Jaden Thomas, down that far side. Mitchell bringing a forward up the centre towards halfway. And it was Matt Dragosic. So they continue to probe away the Bushrangers here. Nothing flashed. Just pushing it up the centre through McGrath. Jacob McGrath. He'll play it 30 metres out. Last tackle. They'll go for the kick. But beautifully taken on the far side by George Stewart for the Blues. Now we've got a player down in backfield. Seeing whether they've got to stop the game for the injured player, and I think they'll have to. It's one of the Tuggeranong boys. And the referee has said yes. The trainer has asked to stop the game because the player receiving treatment obviously needs some assistance. And in fact, he'll have to leave the field. He got a bit of a knock to the head. So the Blues with the ball. They're 22 metres out. So we're just waiting for play to resume. Injured player comes close to the sideline. He walked off okay. There's no serious injury. So Aidan Woods takes it up the centre. Blues with the ball. 6-all the score. Midway through this first half, this semi-final. Blues far side of the ground. Campese brings Steve McLean into the fray on the fifth tackle. 2 metres short of halfway, centre of the ground. Campese will kick into the wind again. That ball beautifully taken by Connor Mason. And Mason, a good run. Hello, we've got push and shove in the back play. Campese's into a bit of a stink. As 3 Tuggeranong players have rushed in. And now about another half a dozen players come in. It's push and shove. So after Campese kicked the ball, I was following the ball. I would say that Campese has taken offence to possibly a late tackle, and that's probably where it started. So which way does this penalty go? Because I was following the ball. And the bomb was a swirler, but it was beautifully taken by Connor Mason. But I heard the crowd roaring and thought, well, something's going on, and I put the binoculars back in the other direction to where the ball was kicked and could see that the tempers were flaring and that players were no longer concerned with playing the game. They were running in to help their teammates as a push and shove, and I don't know if any punches were thrown. But there was plenty of push, shove, and plenty of players rushing in. So we've got a fair halt to play while Joshua Mitchell, the captain of the Tuggeranong Bushrangers, comes up to the referee and the two linesmen. And now the captain, Terry Campese, has been called out. I think that might be Jake Wheeler with him from the Blues. So we've really stopped play for a long meeting. And after that long meeting, the referee's decision is about to come. And, well, it's going to be a penalty to Queanbeyan. So obviously Terry Campese was hitting a late tackle. And he's got the penalty 40 metres out. So that's where 40 metres out was where Tuggeranong were tackled. So that's where the penalty was given. So now it's going to get a little bit fiery. So getting to his feet, Cullen plays it, goes back to Steve McLean. McLean takes it about 12 metres out. Patch runs across field. Campese back on the angle, and here's a nice move. It is the halfback, Jordan Williams, who looked likely. They've cleaned him up. Brophy got him. Back for Patch. He steps off the right dummies and goes himself. He falls a metre short. Jordan Williams now dummy half, and there's a penalty. They wouldn't let him play the ball in sufficient time for the referee's liking. Big opportunity for the Blues. 6-all. We creep closer to half-time. Ball away to Steve McLean, and he's a strong lad. He pushes at the line. He's 1 metre out. Played back for Patch. Fires it to Williams. Long ball. Campese. Oh, lovely. Held it up beautiful for Josh Stuckey, and he gets his second try of the match. Josh Stuckey, 2 tries to the Blues now, and they both come to the number 12. Josh Stuckey, he scored in the 7.5 minute, and he has now scored in the 24th minute. So the Blues are back in front by 10 points to 6. It is the Queanbeyan Blues 10, Tuggeranong Bushrangers 6. This kick will be a little bit easier for Terry Campese than the first one, which he took from the sideline. But nonetheless, this wind is very tricky, and it is coming in strong gusts. So his first kick, he kept the ball very low from the sideline, so it didn't get up high, and the wind couldn't grab it. So the Blues, he's probably 9 metres to the right of the post, Terry Campese, and that was a beautiful try. The Jordan Williams pass to Terry Campese, the great hole running by Josh Stuckey, and the ball delivered at precisely the right time onto the chest, off the hands of Terry Campese. Now the former Australian representative, Terry Campese, former Canberra Raider, places it, keeps it pretty low again, gets it higher than the first kick, but has no trouble with it. So it is 12 points now to the Queanbeyan Blues and 6 to the Tuggeranong Bushrangers. So we get about 14 minutes from half-time. Been a good, tough first half hour of football from these two sides, pretty clean. Although, I can only imagine that penalty to Terry Campese, which gave them field position, was for a late tackle after he kicked. I was following the ball, but obviously he was hit late. Now that kickoff has gone out over the dead ball line. So that's how strong that wind is. Once he got it up in the air, that wind grabbed it and it took off and has gone over the dead ball line. So the Blues get a great opportunity. They'll get the tap on halfway to start the set. Now Williams looking to link up with his outside men. So getting to his feet was Cullen. They go another forward up the centre. Time it was Taholo. Now the ball flicked back to Taholo. He tries to straighten the play up. Campese wants it to the left. Then he fires it back inside to Parsons, and Parsons has split them. He beats another one. He's got the winger to beat. He goes for the line. Oh, I don't know he got that down. No, I think he has lost control putting the ball down. Oh, that was a shame because he did everything to score the try. The referee will check with the linesman. But I think Matthew Parsons lost control placing the ball down with the one hand. Oh, it was a damaging run. He's busted them open. But see, I'd love to see a replay of that. It was touch-and-go stuff. But just the way the ball shot back up, I had the feeling that Parsons lost control of that one. Just at the last second, too. So, Tuggeranong back with the ball. Mitchell fires it to Brophy. He's brought down by Aidan Woods. 5 metres short of halfway, and Mitchell going away to the left. He picked up Nathan Smith, their try scorer. And now the referee's whistle blows that there's a knock on. So Tuggeranong just need to steady the ship a bit. They're just getting a little flustered. Had their line broken a couple of times. Couple of mistakes, and they've put themselves under pressure. Queanbeyan get to start this set close to halfway. We've got 11 minutes on the clock till half time. There's 12 points to 6. The Blues leading Tuggeranong Bushrangers. Now the centre of the ground, the Blues have the ball off this scrum win. Patch away for Williams. It's a player back on his inside. And that was Michael Cullen. Patch this time gets it back to McLean. McLean takes it to the 40-metre mark. Patch shoots it wide to Williams. And he gets a ball onto a hard-running Hitchens. Josh Hitchens takes play 28 metres out from Tuggeranong line. Pat showing it. Then fires a long ball. Campese got a good one away to Parsons. He found Cole, stepped off his right, beat one. And then he's thrown into the ground and a good tackle by Jury Lowe. About 15 metres away, the Blues. Back for Campese, held it up. Gave it away to Williams. Williams went to grab a kick. Hit a Tuggeranong leg. 6 to go. Referee says it was played at. So now a big opportunity for the Blues. They lead by 6. They want to extend it before half-time. Campese. Oh, big Steve McLean. He ran into a solid tackle there, the big man. Now Patch fires one across. Goes to their lock forward to Harlow. And he found Hitchens. Now back for Campese. Straightened up by Cullen. Cullen's 2 metres out from the line. Right underneath the goalposts. Now Zach Patch, he'll try a little flick, tricky move, Steve McLean. And McLean, the big man, he had the weight to get over the line. It's become like a scrum. I don't know what's happened. Tuggeranong, I think, have got the ball because Steve McLean hasn't got it. It was like there was a scrum. There was 12 players in there. Brophy comes up with it. Some of them stole the ball off him as he was trying to get over the line and score. So Tuggeranong come away through Mason. And Mason gets it out to the 18-metre mark. So the Bushrangers do well to survive that. Jaden Pollard with a run. And they're 30 metres out. Brophy dummy half. Good run. Took play to the halfway. They needed that, the Bushrangers. They need to get some momentum. Slow play the ball. Campese does his best to slow it down. They've had a little ball Tuggeranong for a while, and now Jury Low has it. Far side of the ground here at Seaford Oval. Ball comes back across. Josh Mitchell. Well, a spiralling type of kick, and it was a difficult one to take, but Jordan Williams has got it. And he did well to take that ball because it was a real spiralling kick. And then he managed to get it to Parsons, who took the tackle. Now we've got Francis Fanifo up the centre, and now ball comes away for Michael Cullen. He's almost made it to the halfway. Go back for Williams. He got it to Wheeler, and Jake Wheeler, 42 metres out from the Tuggeranong line. Ball close to Terry Campese. He holds it up and shows it. He gave it on to Stuckey. Scored both tries for Queanbeyan. He got a nice unload to Parsons, to Campese, to Cole. He stepped off the right, tried to come inside. He's taken by Jury Low. Desperation, he got help. Campese, he's signalling something on here. Tuggeranong slow to get back into position. Terry Campese, he's going to go for a kick across field, and it's taken beautifully by Mason. You heard the roar of the crowd. That was in the background. Narima Lowe is down. He wasn't on the ball, but he's down and he's got an attendant in to give him some treatment. He's quite conscious and everything's okay in that department, but there was a roar from the crowd. I didn't see it. Goes to Mitchell. Mitchell now just holding it up, trying to send his big men into the fray. They come down towards halfway. Getting up to play the ball, Jaden Thomas. They'll kick for touch. And some of the crowd appealing that a Queanbeyan player played at it with his foot. And the Queanbeyan will get the scrum feed. So there was no play at the foot. Well, the crowd can appeal for their team for those little things. They thought they saw something. Might have been just trying to bluff the linesman and the referee. So now we get down to the final 6 minutes of the first half of this major semi-final. Both sides playing hard and strong to try and be the first one into this year's grand final of 2019. Williams will feed the scrum for Queanbeyan away to Campese and gets it on to Matthew Cole. Cole will play it back for Campese. He'll give it away to George Stewart, the winger, driven hard into the ground, but he's 8 metres short of halfway. Blues with the ball. Campese doing a bit of dummy half work at the moment. This time he calls up Josh Hitchens, and it's a good, strong run from Hitchens. He takes play 44 away from the Tuggeranong line. They come across the face. The ball goes down. Tuggeranong scoop it up, and they have stopped the momentum of the Blues there. Getting up to play it was Big Thomas. Now away for Brent Neal. Back for Mitchell. Gives it on to Daniel Hickson. Hickson's over halfway. Mitchell, way to Brophy. Brophy gets a ball back on the inside, and Drury Low, hard to get down. He's elusive, and he wrestles in the tackle, but finally Cole gets him. Mitchell comes back across. He found support in Brad Robinson, And Robinson's brought down 20 metres out. Mitchell to Brophy, who's heavily involved, the fullback. He tries something to split them. He gets a little ball away. They keep it alive, Tuggeranong. They must score. They will. Narima Lowe will score. Narima Lowe scores in the corner. And that was good play from Tuggeranong to keep that ball alive. And then they had the numbers. Narima Lowe gets a try. And he gets it just before half-time. And that makes it 12 points to 10 in favour of Queanbeyan. But a kick to come from the Tuggeranong Bushrangers. And it'll be about 9 metres in from touch. Maybe even less than that. We'll see where the referee marks the spot. He'll have the wind directly behind him. His first kick, he converted, Joshua Mitchell, was from the other side of the ground, where he had to kick across the wind. This time he's almost got the wind behind him, and it's a strong wind. It certainly is up here, 2 stories on top of the roof. Down at ground level, it'd be fairly strong down there, I imagine, as well. So that's a good play, the Bushrangers. They kept their own line intact with desperate defence. Now you can see how strong the wind is, because Mitchell had that ball on the tee, and as he started to move back, it blew off. So he's called a teammate over to assist. So Wesley Alexander says, well, I'll come over and I'll put my little finger here on this, and we'll see if we can get it to stay there. So that wind is very strong. Now he's going to have to kick it out to the left of the post, because the wind is not directly behind him, and it's going to swing it back to the right. So from the sideline, this is a very difficult kick in very windy conditions to level things up just before half-time. Takes his time now. Josh Mitchell moves in, swings out the left like he had to, and it comes around with the wind. That is an absolute cracker of a kick. In strong windy conditions, he swung it out to the left and said, you can do your job now, wind. And the wind got in and brought it back and put it through the post. That is a sensational kick from the sideline. We saw one from Terry Campese into the wind from the sideline. So both kickers 2 from 2, Campese and Josh Mitchell, in these very windy conditions. The wind favouring Tuggeranong in this first half. We're all locked up at 12-all. Now look at this one. That goes high in the air, and it's almost coming back at the Blues by the time it got to the ground. So they tried a bit of a trick shot, the Blues, but Tuggeranong have it. They'll now work play away from their own line. We've only got about a minute left on the clock, so this should be the last set. We shouldn't see any more points, you would think, in this first half. Nathan Smith runs it up for the Bushrangers. He's got a try under his belt in this match so far. Mitchell, he goes, oh, there's a drop ball coming from Neil. So the Blues picked up by Cole. And they'll have one last crack. They've got about 40 seconds. So they start the set nicely a couple of metres in Tuggeranong's side of the ground. So they can still get something out of this if they come up with a good set. Tuggeranong don't want to give away a penalty. Here's a nice ball, and the Blues, they're galloping away through Parsons. And Parsons, oh, he's lost the ball. Oh, and there's a penalty. It was reefed out, 2 in the tackle. Will they take the 2 points? I think they will. They've got 20 seconds left on the clock. I think they'll take the 2. It's only 10 metres to the left of the post, so they'll take the 2 for sure. Time ticking away. They'd only get one play, so there's no rush here. And Terry Campese says to the referee, I'll shoot for goal. Oh, gee, Parsons is a terrific, elusive player. And the Blues almost right on half-time, almost came up with points with a try, but they'll come up with 2 for this penalty goal. Judging by the way Terry Campese has kicked his first 2 This one, he'll aim at the left upright because this strong wind will take it in, but he doesn't. He's so close. He's 10 metres to the left. That wind, it drops down and then it just picks up again and blows hard. So Campese probably aim a little bit to the left. He does, and there you can see the wind swinging it around, and it goes over. So the Blues go into the sheds at half time, leading by 2 points, 14 points to 12, in what has been a very hard-fought, close first half, and a good game of football to call and to watch for the good crowd that's turned up here this afternoon. So 14-12, Queanbeyan Blues lead the Tuggeranong Bushrangers. This game is really in the balance. We're in for a big second half. We'll take a short break now. Queanbeyan Blues are back on the field at Seaford Oval on this fine Sunday afternoon. There's no cloud in the sky. Sun is shining brightly across the ground, but the wind has been very strong, and it has favoured the Tuggeranong Bushrangers in the first half. It is the Queanbeyan Blues leading by 14 points to 12. There's been 2 tries apiece for the Blues. Josh Stuckey scored 2 tries. Terry Campese has kicked 2 conversions, 1 penalty goal. And for Tuggeranong Bushrangers, they've had a try to Nathan Smith and a try to Narima Lowe, both converted by Joshua Mitchell, and in good fashion too. Been some tricky conversions in this game with this strong wind. The kick-off from the Blues down to Tuggeranong, who will run against the wind in this second half. It's not going directly down the ground. It is coming from the west. It's a northwesterly. So Tuggeranong with the ball for the first set of this second half to see who goes into the grand final in a fortnight's time. We had a great first half of football, getting up to play at Brent Neal. They continue to probe up the centre in this first set, the Tuggeranong Bushrangers. They'll kick on the last through Bropia. That looks too long. It's gone out on the full. So that's a mistake that could prove costly, because the Blues will get this ball back on the 40-metre mark out from the Bushrangers line. So a great opportunity early in the second half. That wind, it just keeps coming strong and strong. A gust of wind just came through then, very strong, and then it'll ease back a little bit. Ball goes away to Michael Cullen, and Cullen's brought down 31 metres out, far side of the ground. Patch sends it back to Williams. Williams fires it on to Taholo. He takes it up the centre. He's 28 metres out. Patch this time has a run from dummy half, shows it, gives it to Campese, holds it up, gives it to Parsons. Parsons is dangerous. He got through 1 tackle. He's now 20 metres out from the Tuggeranong line. Campese, he just drives it to Hitchens up the centre. There are 9 metres out. Queanbeyan are looking dangerous. Away to Campese. Sends it back into McLean. McLean's beaten a couple. He drives at the line. Tuggeranong players close in on him. This is the last tackle. Plays it a metre out. Little chip kick from Williams, and it'll be tidied up and taken over the dead ball line by Connor Mason. So Tuggeranong will have the line drop out. That's a good set from Queanbeyan. They played controlled football, and they didn't come up with the points. A beautiful little kick from their halfback, Jordan Williams, has forced Tuggeranong into the line dropout. And they're going a short one from Mitchell. Well, you can't score off it. Cole took it, but it hadn't landed 10 metres into the field of play to have play restart. So Tuggeranong get a penalty, and that must be because it's a technical rule that I haven't seen that happen before. But I'd say because Cole didn't let the ball touch the ground, it's a penalty then to Tuggeranong. Now there's that wind again. It has just come up, and it is howling behind the Queanbeyan backs. It just comes with big rushes. It's going to be tough for Tuggeranong this second half into this wind. Well, that's unfortunate. I'd say that Matthew Cole just didn't know that rule, and he rushed through, thought he was going to get a try, but he gave away a penalty. So Tuggeranong do well now. Alexander takes it out 45 metres out. They push it up the centre, Tuggeranong. Done well to survive down the other end and come back up this field of play. Mitchell, he gives it on to Brent Neal. Neal takes play about 25 metres out. It is the last play now. Goes away to Alexander, and he got it on to Kennedy. And Kennedy, he forced it out the back line. They've kept it alive, Tuggeranong, in that far corner to try and have a crack at that line, but they won't make it. And it will be the turnover. So they've turned it over in the best possible position, right on the Queanbeyan line. So Queanbeyan a bit of work to do to come off their line. Fanifo had the first run. Playing the ball, the winger, George Stewart. Now the Blues come away through Hitchens. He's going to play it about 20 metres out. Campese linking up with Cole. Tuggeranong defence good. In fact, he linked up with Stuckey. Now they go back into the centre. McLean. This is their last. So they've struggled to get out to their 30-metre mark. Campese's going to boot it with the wind behind him. A long one. Goes down to Brophy. And Brophy's been able to sprint back up to almost halfway. So terrific field position for Tuggeranong to start this set. So they came up with good defence, the Bushrangers, to hold Queanbeyan down there. Pollard playing it on halfway. Alexander. Oh, and he fired a ball away to Kennedy, and Kennedy's got support on his outside. Tuggeranong look very dangerous. They come back in. They're only metres short with desperate defence, and there was no dummy half when Lowe got up to play the ball. So Parsons thought, I'd have to just run around and grab this ball, but pardon me, there has to be a certain amount of time before the marker is allowed to go round and take the ball. It's got to be, and I don't know if it's a second and a half. There has to be a delayed action, but no dummy half. Was very poor play from Tuggeranong. But anyway, they get out of jail. They've got a great opportunity now. They're on the Queanbeyan line, a metre out. And they'll fire it away here to the left, 9 metres out. And it was trying to play the ball, Nathan Smith, but Terry Campese and Nathan Smith are having a push and shove match out there. I thought there was going to be a penalty against Campese, but nonetheless there wasn't. Jared Kennedy, who's dangerous, has the ball on the far side of the ground now, 10 metres out. Mitchell, dummy half, has a little run. He tries to push a defender away. Jordan Williams came back at him, the Queanbeyan half, and Mitchell's very slow to his feet. Ball comes back to Brophy. He gets a ball back inside to Robinson. And Robinson, just 5 metres out. Mitchell to Brophy. Brophy goes himself. He go over the line. Great run. He had 3 defenders in front of him. Stepped off the right. He got them in trouble. And he scores a great try, Brophy. 7 minutes into this second half to send the Bushrangers into the lead. And the kick to come is going to be 10 metres to the left of the post. 16-14. Bushrangers lead at the moment with the conversion to come. So the Blues, the Bushrangers have started the second half strong. I was very impressed with that defensive set where the Blues with a strong wind at their back couldn't get out to the 30 before Campese had to kick. And Brophy was onto that kick on the full, got to the halfway, which meant the Bushrangers got great field position. And they've capitalised on things. So I would back, even in these windy conditions, I will back Josh Mitchell the way he's kicking. He'll send it to the left post and let the wind do a bit of work. He moves in, and you look at the wind. Oh, it almost took it outside that right post. But it snuck through. And he's got 3 from 3 this afternoon. And it takes their scoreline out to 18. Queanbeyan 14. So it is the Tuggeranong Bushrangers 18. Queanbeyan Blues 14. Gee, that wind was strong. You could see he aimed towards the left. And I tell you what, when the wind grabbed it, we got through the post in time, and it moved about 10 metres Away from the post. Oh, that kick's going to go out on the full. Well, we've seen that twice in this match. Now, hang on. Everyone, what's going to happen here? The crowd are upset. Now the referee's going down to the linesman. They're going to have a discussion. So it didn't go out on the full now. So a change of decision. So this means Tuggeranong Bushrangers will have to do a line dropout. And I'll tell you what, Michael Brophy, who's been outstanding for the Bushrangers, is limping heavily to get back to the line. So he's in a bit of strife. Well, there's a change of decision. Referee had a meeting with the linesman. Big chance for the Blues now. Queanbeyan takes the line drop out and gives it away to one of his forwards. Getting to his feet was McLean. They'll keep probing it up the centre for a couple here, the Blues, before they look to put something on. Colavati plays it. Now Campese fires it back across the field to Williams, and he got it to Cullen. And Cullen's hard to control, but he's 10 metres out where the defence do a good job. Ball comes back to Fanifo. And Fanifo goes very close. He's about 2 metres out, kicking and striking to try and get up and play the ball. Back to Williams. He gives it to McLean. He flicks the ball back to Williams. Williams has lost the ball. Tuggeranong dive on it through Alexander. So the Bushrangers, who lead this game 18 points to 14, 10 minutes into the second half, does a great job there to keep the Blues out. Well, so Tuggeranong running into a strong wind. They've looked the better side to start this second half, more controlled. Pollard has run the winger, giving his forwards a hand, and he gets it out 30 metres out from his own line. They'll continue to push it up. Brent Neal, the front rower, 12 short of halfway for the Bushrangers. Josh Mitchell, his kicker's charged down. Ball is loose. Knocked on. Knocked on by the Bushrangers as they tried to clean it up. So the Blues, they've got field position. They're 32 metres out from the Tuggeranong line, and they've got this strong wind behind them. So that kick charged down, big result. The Blues see what they can come up with this time. Last set they were camped on this line, but that Tuggeranong defence had stood up to the task. Can the Blues crack it this time? Williams will feed the scrum for the Blues. Both sides surging to make the grand final in a fortnight in this major semi-final. Playing the ball, Francis Fanifo. Now the ball's back for McLean. The big fella, he's driven that down hard into the ground. Big Steve McLean, centre of the ground. Now Zach Patch got it to Campese. Campese brought that player back on his inside. Comes back, Campese wants it, holds it up, gives a strong ball to Stuckey, and Stuckey gets over the line. Referee rules that it's a no try. He was looking for his third try of the match, Josh Stuckey. He runs hard. He picks a gap too. He runs at it, and his timing is very good. And he runs off some pretty handy ball players. But ball players need those runners who can time their run at the right time, position. Now here's an entanglement of legs. And finally, Tuggeranong. Oh, I hope we've got a bit of push and shove in the background again, a bit of feeling and a lot of talk, but I think Wheeler should get back into position because Brophy, who's come back from that very wounded leg, was taking off and he ran at Wheeler's position because Wheeler was too busy arguing down the field. Got to forget the argument, get back in your position. So now Tuggeranong coming up through Jared Kennedy. And Kennedy's taken play 35 out from the Queanbeyan line. Ball back for Alexander. And he holds it up nicely for a forward to go up the centre. 3 Blues players there to close him down. They're 30 metres out from the line. Slow play the ball. And Queanbeyan were all over him. And the penalty has gone to Tuggeranong. It was Brent Neal who came up with the run and then got in a wrestling match. Now, they're right in front of the post, but they're 4 points behind. Surely they'll go the tap, or they'll kick for touch, I should say. No, they do take the tap, don't even kick for touch. So, 22 metres out. Tuggeranong Bushrangers, they're 4 points behind on the scoreboard. Mitchell got it away to Brad Robinson, and Robinson's 15 metres out from the line. Ball comes back for Brophy, held it up and gave it to Nathan Smith. And Nathan Smith, he's only metres from the line. Tuggeranong looking to steal back this lead. Ball comes away to the halfback Jack Heyman, and Heyman's wrapped up. So 7 or 8 metres out. Mitchell fires a long ball away to Brent Neal. And Neal, the big front rower, straightens up and just takes the line on. This is the last. They'll probably look for a repeat set, or will they go the bomb? Ball goes to Brophy, tries to chip it into the in-goal area, and that's effective because Matthew Parsons, under pressure, realised that he had to clean things up. He booted it over the dead ball line, and the Tuggeranong Bushrangers, patient football, can win the day. They will get another set at the Queanbeyan line. Sorry, Bushrangers are ahead 18-14. I just got the scores there back the front. The sun shining. They'll use that excuse. Sun shining on the scoreboard. This is the Bushrangers, 18. Queanbeyan Blues, 14. Just making a little mistake there. A major mistake. So here come the Tuggeranong Bushrangers. And they charge it up through Brent Neal. Goes back for Mitchell. And Mitchell goes across field. He gives it to Brent Neal. Neal's tackled 20 metres out. So here's a chance for the Bushrangers, who have been the better side in this second half to this stage. Brophy held it up, gave it away, and I think that might be McGrath coming onto that ball, though in fact Jared Kennedy now has it. Kennedy plays it. Mitchell back for Brophy, up playing like a 5'8", gave it away to Brent Neal, heavily involved, 10 metres out from the line. The Bushrangers lead by 4. All the balls come loose as he got to his feet, and the referee rules that he lost it, and that's a let-off for the Blues. They will get the scrum feed, and they'll get it 10 metres out from their own line, and they needed that. They've been under siege this second half, with 23 minutes of this match to go, and there is nothing in it. It has been seesawing. 18 points to Tuggeranong Bushrangers, 14 points to the Queanbeyan Blues. Queanbeyan Blues been on the back foot in this second half. They need a good set now off their own line, so they'll win the scrum, and George Stewart take it out about 12 metres. Michael Cullen has a run. He's almost out to the 20. You can see the tactics are trying to slow the ball player, the tackle man down to let the defensive line get set. And again, they lay all over the top, roll him onto his back, Jack Colavati. And this time Steve McLean. Good strong run from McLean. Comes back, and we got on the field a little Fedovani, and he makes good play. Little fellow in the headgear got it to halfway. Campese trying a little chip into the corner, got the bounce for Cole. The ball goes loose, everyone misses it. Now it's picked up beautifully by Fedovani. He's going to play it 12 metres out, so Queanbeyan get the luck of the bounce. And now the referee has ruled a knock on. And scrum will pack, but will he put the left arm up saying Queanbeyan will get the scrum feed. And Michael Brophy is limping heavily again on that left leg, so he's brave to be playing on. He's playing a good game, but he's in a bit of pain. fair bit of pain. He'll be sore tomorrow. So this is the chance for the Blues. It is 18 points to 14. Tuggeranong Bushrangers leading the Queanbeyan Blues. About 20 minutes left of this major semi-final. Winner goes through to the grand final. Loser plays Goulburn Workers next week. Up the centre, George Stewart for the Blues. First tackle, 9 metres out from the line. Plays it back. Tuggeranong. Little fellow in the headgear. He's managed to get it onto his lock forward, who played the ball to Holo. He has a run himself, Tuggeranong from dummy half. To Holo dummy half. Now to Campese. He holds it up and gives it to Stuckey. Stuckey goes for the line. Oh, geez. Got in a wrestling match. He scored 2 tries already. Don't underestimate him. Tuggeranong throws a long ball out here to his winger in George Stewart. But the defence read it. This will be the last. They've given it no air. Now Campese does a kick across field. And, it's knocked on, I think, first by Tuggeranong and then by Queanbeyan. So I think Queanbeyan will get the scrum feed. And this will mean they've had 3 sets in a row. 3 sets in a row at this Tuggeranong line. Can they crack it this time? They're behind by 4 points on the scoreboard. They've still got, let's have a look at this clock, 20 minutes, 23 seconds left on it. Scrum packing, 10 metres out. And it's a little run from the dummy half by Tahalo. From the scrum base, I should say. And now Fenavatu, he runs from dummy half, goes nowhere. I think Queanbeyan ought to use some imagination. There's too much one out and dummy half running. Ball goes to Campese. He had to bend over to pick it up. Got it back to Talaholo, and he straightens the attack up. But they're really, Tuggeranong can read this attack. They've had 3 sets in a row. They need to try something. Get it wide. Campese, he has no runners. So it's one out stuff again. 2 metres out, the Blues. They'll go to the left. This time Williams chips it into the in-goal area, and it had to be cleaned up by Connor Mason. He had to bat it over the dead ball line. So now the Blues get their 4th set in a row. But surely they can come up with something better in attack. I mean, Tuggeranong defence is good on their own line. They've survived 3 sets in a row. But really, Queanbeyan, they're just looking to do one out stuff and try and force it over. And they just need something with a little bit more imagination. There's the line dropout. Goes to Terry Campese. Throws a long ball back into Steve McLean. So what have they got this time? 4th set in a row. 23 metres out. Tuggeranong. They're hanging on for dear life. They lead by 4 points. They've got the strong wind in their face, and now Queanbeyan get a penalty for a high shot. It's a bit of push and shove. It was against Brent Neal. They're in front of the sticks. They can take the 2, but they're 4 behind, 20 to go. So you'd imagine it'll be tap and go. Campese, Talahulu, he takes the first one up. 2 metres out from the line. Gives it back for Campese to Williams. Gets it onto the support play. He's over the line. In fact, I think he's got it down. And I cannot pick up who it was. My binoculars go all over the place. Nice time for the binocs to get crazy. Well, you look at 4 sets in a row, Queanbeyan just had to come up with something. And that was a better play. Couple of sharp, good passes to a man running hard at a different angle. And it produced the try. They'd been one out stuff prior to that. And Tuggeranong were able to read them. So 17 minutes to go, and things have levelled up at 18 all. Campese's about 6 metres to the left of the post. So he shouldn't have any trouble with this. Should put his side in front. Terry Campese has the ball placed. Moves in, strikes it beautifully. Up go the flags. So, 20 points to 18. Queanbeyan Blues have hit the front. Campese is 4 from 4. You're always going to back him to kick that one. We've got 16 minutes of play remaining. So Neil brings it up. It's the kickoff from Tuggeranong. Queanbeyan will charge it up through Steve McLean. So this game's still in the balance. Queanbeyan Blues 20, Tuggeranong Bushrangers 18. Been a tough, hard-fought affair. Hitchens takes it up. He gets 31 metres out. In fact, it was the winger, George Stewart. Now Stuckey, 12 short of halfway. Campese gave it on to McLean. Run hard all afternoon, and McLean found halfway. It's played back for little Whareanu. He does a little darting run. 39 metres out. Last tackle. Campese punches it down into the corner. There was Brophy, the fullback. Michael Brophy across to clean it up and bring it back out to the 10. So Tuggeranong have been the better side this second half. They wrestled the lead back, and but now they've got a battle on their hands because Queanbeyan have hung in there and managed to get this lead, and they're not going to surrender it easily now. So Tuggeranong, they're under siege. They only get out to the 30, and that's their last tackle now. So into the headwind, Michael Brophy will kick it. And Joel Monaghan's on the ground in jumper 19 for the Queanbeyan Blues. He's at fullback. He takes the kick. He takes it 15 metres short of halfway. Goes back for Wheeler. Jake Wheeler across the field. He's only 5 short of halfway. Queanbeyan Blues. What a clean set here. Michael Cullen with a good run. He's taken play 2 metres on the Tuggeranong side of the field. Now they'll straighten it up with Campese sending McLean back on his inside. And they've made metres. They're 38 metres out from the Tuggeranong line. Campese looking for a runner inside. He found Williams. Jordan Williams, I think he wanted a runner. So last tackle. Do they put a high one up into the wind? Little chip over the top was the idea, but it was a poor one because Michael Brophy took it in the in-goal area and that took all the pressure off. They come back out to the 20-metre mark, the Bushrangers, and they are desperate for a good set. So that was just a disappointing end to what was a fairly solid set from the Queanbeyan Blues. Well, Nathan Smith playing it 30 metres out from his own line. There's a break. It's from the Bushrangers. They're charging down the field. That's Jack Heyman. He's taken it down to the 20, but the cover defence from Matthew Parsons has brought him down. Ball's played back and low. He sends it across the field. It goes to Eldridge. Eldridge takes the tackle. 26 metres out from the Queanbeyan line. Back for Mitchell. Gives it on to Brophy. Brophy finds a man on his outside. They go to the far side of the ground. So it's Tuggeranong with the ball. And it's a nothing run. They're about 7 or 8 metres out from the line. Mitchell, he goes to the blind side. But Queanbeyan defence close it down. This is the last tackle. Wind is howling. Mitchell fires a long ball, but Queanbeyan defence read it beautifully and were able to close it down, no problem. As we come down to inside the last 12 minutes, the turnover sees the Blues with the ball a metre out from their own line, leading by 20 points to 18. Winner goes through to the grand final in a fortnight. Loser to play the Goulburn team next week. So now the Blues with the ball, about 22 metres out from their own line. Campisi's going to kick. It's charged down. So little Jordan Williams will go back and scoop it up and go across field. And he won't surrender easily. They had to corral him. And he's pushing and shoving. He's not happy. He's only little, but he'll take on the big men. Oh, here's a run from Queanbeyan. This is the winger, George Stewart. And that's a great run. Takes play up to halfway. So that's now got Tuggeranong struggling to get back in defence. 5 or 6 of them on the line. Campisi, he fires it onto the big man. And it's Woods. Woods goes down to the 28. Still Tuggeranong. 5 or 6 of them can't get back. A quick play the ball was needed. Goes to Campisi. He chipped through. There's no fullback at home. But look at Brophy go back and scoop it up. He beat Campisi to the ball. And now Brophy's rounded up in the in-goal area. So that's a great set from the Queanbeyan Blues. They didn't get points, which they looked likely to, but Tuggeranong showed how weary they were. They couldn't get back on side, and their line was stretched to the limit. And to their credit, somehow they have stopped the Blues coming up with a 4-pointer. Campisi could see that there was no fullback. He kicked through, but he just didn't have the speed to match it with Michael Brophy. But the next best result for the Blues was getting a repeat set. And that they have got. Player down injured. And just have no binoculars for the last 10 minutes of this match. They've totally gone on strike, which makes it hard for these old eyes. So it'll be Josh Mitchell. Josh Mitchell who'll take the line drop out. So this is a chance for the Blues to wrap things up. Well, I shouldn't say wrap things up. 4 points in front, 2 points in front. If they got another 6, still got about 9 minutes on the clock. So I was going off early and saying a chance to wrap it up, but it is a chance to really put themselves in the box seat. They'll be staring at the grand final if they can come up with a 6-pointer off this set. Now, the Tuggeranong player at the back of the field has had to leave the field due to injury. He's got a bit of assistance. I think it's too far away. I just can't pick up who it is. Now there's the line dropout. And has it gone the 10? No, it hasn't gone the 10. So Queanbeyan get a penalty. They get a penalty 10 metres out from the Bushrangers line. They lead by 2, so there's no use going for a penalty goal and taking the gift too. They really need the 6-pointer, and then they're in the box seat. So Tahoe, he goes within 1 metre of the line. Plays it back. Queanbeyan. Oh, he gives it on to big Stucky. Stucky, gee, runs hard onto it. But the defence is good. They stop him a metre short. Queanbeyan fires it this time to Woods. And Woods is charged at the line. I think the referee likes it. The Queanbeyan Blue players like it. The referee has a look at his linesmen. There was no need to do that. They were a long way. Oh, got the push and shove on now. And that's a try to the Queanbeyan Blues next to the post. And that with 8 minutes to go and the conversion to come, has them staring at the grand final. Staring at their entry to the grand final. There's some feeling in it. They're still pushing and shoving and having words. The referee and linesman. Referee blows his whistle again and asks them to release each other. Come away. But it is now a great position for the Blues. They go to 24 points to 18. This is an all-important kick. It is 3 metres to the right of the post, and it would put Queanbeyan 8 points in front as we would tick down to the last 7 minutes. So it puts them in a great position. Now, the referee has ruled time off. He has both linesmen in, and they're going to try and work out what that was all about, who started it, who came in to join it, who finished it. It'll be a general meeting. Now, one player being Josh Mitchell is the captain of Tuggeranong. And he has come out with one of his teammates to listen to what the referee has to say. Jake Wheeler is standing 5 metres away. Now, has he sent him off or 10 minutes? It's not going to make a difference. He's gone for the game. So they're talking to Josh Mitchell, the captain. I think they're explaining why one of his players has got an early shower, so he obviously started it. Not sure who that player is. Now, Wheeler's still there with Campese. And he's being spoken to. So Wheeler being spoken to from the Blues. Will he get 10? Sure who it was who got sent from the field. Now Wheeler's getting a very long talking to. Very long talking to. Terry Campese, the captain, hasn't gone up to listen. He's just happy he's got a close shot for the 2 points. Well, that was a long chat to Wheeler. He'd almost have to bring the pen and the notepad to write it all down to remember all of that, but he's going back to his position. And Terry Campese will place this ball 1 metre to the right of the post. So the way he has kicked today, it's been 4 from 4. And he's kicked them from the sideline. This is an important kick. This will take them 8 points into the lead with this 7 minutes to go. Campese, yep, straight over. 5 from 5 for him. 26 points to 18. You've got 7 minutes on the clock. And now it's a real tough job for Tuggeranong. Running into a strong wind against the Blues side that now have got new energy in their legs. They're 8 points in front, and they can see the grand final lights 2 weeks away staring at them. So Big Aidan Woods takes it up for the first hit up. Joel Monaghan the second. They don't want to do anything stupid here. They want a good set off their points. Woods, another good hard run. And got to his feet quick to play the ball. Unlucky not to pick up the penalty when Elridge went in for another play. The referee obviously hadn't called held on the far side. Queanbeyan coming back across field. And Wheeler going through tackles. He's about 20 metres out. Comes back to Campese. Campese shows it, holds it up, gets it out the back to Williams, but it was beautifully read by Neil. Keep it alive. Get it back to Joel Monahan. Monahan tried to wind up the big legs. He flicked one back to Campese. Got it on to Stewart. Stewart's put it down with the line there. I thought he was going to score for sure, Georgie Stewart. He couldn't believe it. The line was open. The ball was in front of him, and he couldn't gather it in. And I hope he's okay, because they crash-tackled him, and it's hurt him. 1 minute he thought, I'm going to score in the corner and wrap this game up. And then that ball was a bit of a tricky one. He's put it down. So that clock, 5 minutes and 50 seconds left on it. And Tuggeranong, Bushrangers are feeling a little bit down at the moment. They're probably thinking, I don't think we can get out of this. Queanbeyan have got all the momentum. We can't wrestle this momentum back off them. And we've got 8 points to make up, and we've only got 5 minutes to do it in. And we've got this wind howling at us. So George Stewart is sitting up and receiving attention. So play has stopped. 26-18 Queanbeyan lead the way, the Blues, the Queanbeyan Blues. The Goulburn Workers side defeated the Queanbeyan Roos yesterday, I'm told, and are now freshening up to take on the loser of this match. The winner of this match into the grand final. The loser back to play the Goulburn Workers. That'll be a tremendous match next weekend. And, of course, the winner of that game will then move on to the grand final. Now, George Stewart, he's coming from the ground, and it looks like it's his left arm, whether it's a collarbone, I'm not sure. But he's in a lot of pain, but they'll fix that up for him. But I don't know if they'll fix it in time for the grand final should Queanbeyan advance through. So now, Tuggeranong have the ball with a big job in front of them. They move it away to the centre of the ground, 20 metres out from their own line. Mitchell in a dummy half gave it to Alexander, who was absolutely crunched. How the ball's come up with the Queanbeyan player, Fedani and Alexander. Oh, gee, was crunched hard. And he's trying to crawl back to the defensive line. And that's not going to work. And the referee, he did not hesitate there to blow the whistle and have time out. He's a tough character, Wesley Alexander. He's back to his feet. He's got his senses back. He's back in the line. Now here's Queanbeyan's chance to wrap it up and go into the grand final. We have under 5 minutes to go. They lead by 8 points against the Tuggeranong Bushrangers. Michael Cullen surging down the blind side. 11 metres out from the line. Plays it back Campese. Does a bit of a twist around. And there's the try to wrap it up. He gives it to Jake Wheeler. And Wheeler scores. And the Queanbeyan Blues are in the grand final for 2019 in 2 weeks' time as they surge out to 30 points to 18 with a kick to come with about 4 minutes left on the clock. So if it's not 100%, it will be when Terry Campese converts his try. And the reason I say I'll convert it, because he kicked them from everywhere this afternoon. 5 from 5. And this one is 10 metres to the left of the post. And I'd love to be getting even money that he'll put this over. So now, with a 12-point break, 3 minutes, 48 seconds on the clock is still ticking down, and Tuggeranong will have to fight next weekend to find their way back to the grand final. These two played a terrific match last week in the last game of the round series before they met in today's semi-final. Nothing between them, and there's been nothing between them today, but Queanbeyan were good into this strong wind. Tuggeranong were very good that first 15 minutes of this half. Campisi's potted that one, so that now makes it 100% certain of a win. He's kicked 6 from 6 and 30, that takes it out to 32-18. So it means a 14-point lead, and we have 2 minutes 50 seconds left on the clock. So it's only the icing down, really, that needs to go on. They'll go through the last couple of sets here, and then the boys will be getting over the injuries, the niggling injuries. Joel Monahan takes it and is tackled 20 out from his own line. Oanu sends it across field. There'll be a penalty to the Blues on that one. Bit of a high shot. It was on Aiden Woods. Woods has played well today. Stuckey scored his 2 tries. Taholo's had a big game. And of course, Terry Campisi, as always, the professional footballer. Oh, I've said that, and he's missed the touchline. Not that it's going to change any result in this game, but he just lost his concentration for a moment while I was giving him a lovely rap and failed to find touch from the penalty. So now, oh gee, there's a tackle. Aiden Woods put it on Brent Neal, centre of the ground. Mitchell away to Alexander, and he's hit hard too. Well, that's it. There's going to be some sore bodies tomorrow. These two have played it hard, played it tough. Now the referees ruled that it was high. Tuggeranong get the penalty. So they're searching for a try to try and end on a positive with it. They've got probably 1 set left in them. And for the Bushrangers, I thought Michael Brophy was terrific. Mitchell good as always. Connor Mason solid on the wing. Now the ball comes away for Heyman. Ball back inside. I think that's to Kennedy. There's a little knock on. So a scrum will back. And the Blues might have maybe 2 or 3 runs off their own line. So she's been a hard, tough, rugged semi-final here at Seaford Oval. The wind blowing. It was a northwesterly. It certainly favoured the team running south. So Tuggeranong had the breeze in the first half, Queanbeyan the second half. And there's nothing between these two teams. Queanbeyan, in fact, the players have decided with 20, 30 seconds to go, let's not pack the scrum, boys. There's no reason to pack it. So they're all shaking hands, and the referee has no option but to stand back, and there the clock has gone down to 0. So yeah, there was no sense in packing that scrum. So it is a win to the Queanbeyan Blues, 32 points to 18. They got away with a 14-point win. But I tell you what, there's nothing between these two teams. Queanbeyan will move to the grand final in 2 weeks. And the Tuggeranong Bushrangers will have a hell of a fight on their hands next week against the Goulburn Stockmen, because they're another team who've been up there matching it with these two. And that will be one hell of a match next weekend to see who takes the second spot in the grand final. These top sides have had very little between them this season. I think they all finished on equal wins at the end of the competition rounds. And it was a good game, real good game of football. There wasn't much spite in it, but there was a few tempers raised and one player sent off late. I don't know what for, but But you've got to expect that in the semi-final. So that's a good standard game of rugby league, very high standard. And congratulations to the Queanbeyan Blues, led by Terry Campese, and they will go through to the grand final in a fortnight. They get a week off to prepare, and they'll watch that semi-final with a lot of interest to see who they're up against and what they produce. But good standard game there. Look at Michael Brophy, who had a blinder. He can barely walk to get to the sheds. That left leg of his, came into the game with his hamstring heavily strapped, and he's limping his way to the sheds. So that's all we've got from Seaford Oval, this major semi-final. The Queanbeyan Blues await to see who they oppose in the grand final in a fortnight's time.